And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace as we look for warmer weather today. About
Yes.
44 right now.
Yesterday, it got to like 74
Yeah.
when I was at work, but it was a pretty day yesterday. It looks like today's going to be pretty.
75 and sunshine. Now, it got a little cooler last night than what was predicted. They originally said about 39, and it jumped on down to 34 this morning right at daylight. So it was nippy.
Yeah, it was. It was freezing cold last night. We had to bring the little puppies in. I'll be so glad when it warms up and they don't have to come in.
Lay around in the yard mind their own business.
Yes. Yeah.
So are things almost back to normal at your house? Limbs picked up, that kind of thing?
Yeah, they got all that picked up this last weekend and burned them and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much,
You know, I'd forgotten just how soft cedar is. Cedar trees snapped pretty much like the pine trees did around. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
I didn't notice as much because I don't see a whole lot of cedar on our property. It's mostly pines and some hardwoods, but yeah, the pine trees are just so weak. You know, they get weak easy.
And I'm telling you, if you
get ice
plant
and
it
stuff
or
on them.
have these close to your house, they will get you. So I highly suggest after everything calms down, getting rid of them. If one can fall in any shape, form, and touch your house, get
Yeah.
rid of it because
Yeah.
it ain't worth your life.
I think there'll be a lot of people trimming limbs that hang over the houses. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I saw in town, I saw a whole lot of pine limbs had fell on roofs and on the houses in town. So
And a lot of cars were damaged with that as well, with limbs hitting it. And if you need your car fixed, see Chet here in, well, I guess you call it Center Hill, wouldn't you? That's what you
Yeah.
call that. Center Hill there at the split. If you need something done to your car, one of the best there is.
He
Chet's
is.
Paint and Body.
they fixed my car many times.
It
When I
has
hit a
been many.
deer, many garbage cans and deer are not my friends.
But good folks, Chet's
Yeah.
one of those. If he tells you something, he stands by it. It doesn't matter. His
That's
word
right.
is gold.
That's
and
right.
There's not many people in this world that you can say that about.
Their whole family, they're
Yeah.
good people. So,
Known them forever.
yeah. If you want somebody that's trustworthy and dependable and is going to get your car done in a timely manner too,
Yeah.
call Chet's Paint and Body in Center Hill because they
He
are.
will help you.
That's right.
Let's see, what's on your agenda today as we begin this?
Work. I have to go to work after this.
little trimming?
Yeah, I got color and haircuts and supposed to go to dinner this evening with my girls from school that I went to school with. So that's a treat because we don't get together that often. But when we do, we loud.
Do y'all go ahead and call ahead and get the handicap parking set up? So-
No, we don't. But we do. I told them the other day we were talking about where to go to eat. I said, yeah, we're loud when we start talking, because it's like we're just catching up, and there's no telling what they'll talk about. So we have to just get it.
So what is it, 30, 35 years since you graduated?
Gosh, it was in 92. So how long is that?
See, 90 would be
Fixing to be
30,
30.
28 years.
Yeah. Well, is it?
No, it would
it's
be
almost
20.
30,
Yeah,
right?
it's
30.
woo. Yeah.
God, it
I
doesn't
forgot
seem
we
like
went
30.
into 21
I mean, it's so weird because I can still remember.
like it was
Like,
yesterday.
I can remember conversations at break.
Oh,
When we
boy.
had break and stuff and what we had on and what we wore and stuff that happened. It's crazy. But I can't remember what I did yesterday. So
Yeah,
what's
mine's a blur on anything like that. I remember a few tests that I was nervous about that I had to. I hated tests.
I didn't like school. I remember in the 11th grade, I loved the socializing with my friends.
Oh, I bet.
But and I cheered and stuff like that. But I just when it come to schoolwork, unless it was science. Now science I loved, but and of course my teachers had a lot to do with that because they were so fun. Miss Kathy Bounds, if you're watching,
Yeah.
and Miss Mayat. But anyway, Nettie Mayat, but those were great teachers and stuff. But mostly school was just for me the best part of it was socializing.
And then at some point you leave there and reality hits you, and that work
Right.
stuff is not really all that fun.
I know. And, it's weird because when you get older, you wish you could go back. I mean, I do. A lot of people might not, but I wish I could go back and see my friends. Because when I do get to see my friends from school or people I went to school with, it's just a big treat for me because, I just hug their neck. And it's
and-
like going home again,
And what is bad, and I know that most everybody here is going to agree that you look online and you start seeing obituaries with
Yes.
people that you graduated with, and it just it doesn't seem that it can be. But
Yeah.
the folks who've passed away from cancer, gosh, we've had so many of those. And then car accidents and then, heaven forbid, this COVID thing.
Right. And, you know, unfortunately, we've lost a good many classmates to car accidents and, you know, in this last year, one from suicide. And it's just a horrible, you know, thing when you lose people that you went to school with and that, you know, you knew and stuff like that. But, yeah, that's a hard thing when you.
So if you want to get it all in perspective, if anybody remembers the Statler brothers, do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They had a song years ago that was a big hit. It was called The Class of 57. Well, of course, the Class of 57 can be adjusted to any year, but it just goes through of everybody that they graduated with, what happened to them.
Right.
And it's like, whoa. And now that song was about me. So look that up today. It was a pretty good little tune there.
Yeah. But, you know, and, you know, our class reunions, as you get older, they dwindle down. You don't have as many people, you know. But, you know, I'll say that when we all get together, the ones that do come and stuff, it's just like we pick up where we left off.
I can see
you
that.
Know. So it's a good time. So I'm looking forward to tonight. Hopefully nothing happens because the last couple of times something's come up and we couldn't go, you know. So we're just going to go out and eat.
We only had one. It was at 10 years and then. And y'all watch this every class reunion that I've gone to, and I went one with Angie, hers, and I went to mine. Somebody runs off with somebody else, and there's a divorce. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any of that, but I do know that the last reunion was a hard thing to try to get together because like a lot of stuff fell through. You know, the place we were going to have it that fell through because they closed down and. Anyway, we ended up having it up at my place, at my hair salon, my shop thing, but it didn't look like it. I mean, I took all the equipment out. It's because it's like a finished out building on the
Look,
inside.
wait a minute. There was 160 of them in my graduating class. How many folks graduated with you?
We had 130, I think, or 130.
All of them fit in there?
133. No, we didn't have, I can't even remember how many we had. We might have had 20-something people, and a lot of people brought somebody. But we had a band, and we had outside. We had a band.
Well, you need to organize another one.
I know we probably will, but I don't know. It's a job.
I'm
Scotty
telling
Ray.
you,
It's a big job.
I'm sure it is.
Get in touch with everybody.
How times go by.
I know.
And you still got 100 other people you got to contact this time. Don't you leave nobody out.
Well, we try to contact everybody, but it's very hard. This, you know, far out.
It is
30 years later because people have moved and. You know,
and they never look back.
You don't know you don't know how to get in touch with them. So we looked on Facebook and tried to contact everybody, but anyway.
There you go. Well, this morning, EMEPA is 100% on all power. If you're on there, you're good. If there is an issue, you need to call because they've handled all the lines. As we go to the most talked about service, and that would be Central Electric, covers several counties, but the big one that it's got there is in Neshoba County. Let me update here and show you where we've at. Now, hopefully around 10 o'clock, they will release some more information. They're not going to talk to me, but or they haven't so far. I don't want to be ugly by any means. But they're at 950 customers out at this point, majority there in Neshoba County. And again, if they release another update today at 10, I'll get that out. So this marks day 10 for a lot of folks in Neshoba County that have no power.
So they've gotten 1,000 customers taken care of since the other day, right?
Correct.
So that's
they're slowly getting there.
Yeah, that's
But it would be nice to get more information directly from them. Where are you? Who's helping you? That type of thing. And, maybe the press release that they release here in just a little while will give us a little insight.
Right.
The big news yesterday was Tiger Woods and his wreck. Have you heard about all this?
Well, I did hear that. It happened, I guess, yesterday morning, didn't it? And then I think he was trapped in his vehicle. Maybe they had to get him out.
Jaws alive.
And he was having surgery on his legs. Is the last thing I.
Now he's been tweeting this morning from the bed. One of the people that were on site when he left the hotel he was at said that he seemed agitated and he cut somebody off driving out. 10 minutes later down the road, video camera showed him not speeding. So whatever he was perturbed about there where he took off, he got over it.
Yeah.
But no word yet. But let's look at some pictures and show you. He jumped a 4-lane and wrecked. I thought he just ran off the side of the road. But if you're going down the road a 4-lane this way, he veers off, loses control, jumps the medium, goes across the other highway and into the bushes. So here's a picture of the car.
It would almost sound like he fell asleep or something.
Something happened.
Or yeah, I mean, he could have had something
And
else going on.
you know, y'all have to excuse me. I've never heard of a Genesis car. What is that?
Yeah, that's a I want
It's
to
a
say
high
it's
end, isn't
I
it?
want to say it's a Hyundai.
Okay,
No, yeah, I
It
want to
is?
say it's a Hyundai Genesis.
but that's it. It's tore up pretty bad there as they pick it up and bring it out of there. I'm
I
sure.
might be wrong with that, but I thought it was.
It may be. I don't
I
know
know
much
that
about
Hyundai
it.
made a Genesis. It was like one of the top of the line.
Yeah, it's a $50,000 car.
Yeah, yeah.
If you'll look here, he's traveling down this road here. He runs, jumps the medium, crosses the 4-lane, and then into the bushes to right there where it came to rest.
My gosh.
Now, if you'll look at these pictures as we look at this, there's a picture of the car. They're dragging it. Look at the path that it cleaned out going through there. Now, they haven't said if he was speeding or not.
I mean, it would almost make you think he was accelerating the whole time.
Now, yeah, your leg could have got hung on the gas pedal that has happened. That was the press conference there as you go down through here, some signs that he ran over.
It's just amazing that he didn't hit somebody head on.
Oh, it
across
is.
that other road.
It's a miracle he made it out of there alive.
Yes.
What does that say right there? I guess
Oh,
that's,
Genesis Invitational. They must have been sponsoring the golf thing.
they must have.
Because he was at a golf. He had been at a golf thing, but I don't think he was playing. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I heard him say that because he had had surgery on his back, which, goodness.
As you can see the blood on there on the airbag that went off there. But quite a scare for him.
That is.
I guess that's where he's in the hospital. And it just goes on with the pictures. They've got a bunch of this on here.
And I know they had said that they didn't want people jumping to conclusions because the last time he had a wreck, he was intoxicated or something was going on. So they said that, they didn't want everybody jumping to conclusions that
It was
about
early
that.
in the morning. If you're drinking
Right.
at 7:30, you got a
Yeah, I don't
problem.
think that's probably not what.
Yeah, let's hope not.
It was probably just something. Who knows? He could have dropped something or reached down to get it. And
Oh, who hadn't dropped something?
oh, I know.
But the pictures go on and on. He was only going 5 miles. So,
Well, it's a blessing that he's
yeah, he's
not
blessed on
major.
that.
Yeah.
So that's the major headlines of, I guess, what you call from the stars yesterday. That did happen. He shook up, but gonna make it. Other news yesterday. Did y'all see this to where? And I posted it on my page. The actual video of it. 18-wheeler runs into the side of a train that's going down through there. It's some type of chemical, and the 18-wheeler driver jumps out, and so does the guy on the train. They both live. But here is the what it looks like. That's the explosion from it. There's the actual video. Look at that.
That is, oh my gosh.
It's pretty rough there. So both of them live. That's good news.
Oh yeah.
As you
Gosh,
go
they've
down
had,
through
that was
there.
in Texas.
Yeah.
They said they have had just a awful luck in
Ooh.
Texas lately.
But I mean, look at that. There's people for miles around. It must have been a rural part where it actually exploded there.
Yeah. And so nobody was injured, right? that's
So
a
that
blessing.
they got out of that fortunate. And there's a closer look at that. That
Goodness.
is some kind of fire.
That is.
So fortunately on that one. And then in other news, another train incident there yesterday in Texas as we pull this up. 18-wheeler's sitting here. This will come back up here in just a second. He pulls onto the tracks to make a turn and gets nailed by a train. He also made it. Yeah, so moral of this story is trains.
Oh yeah. Trains you have to really watch because I mean, even if you look, you need to look again and I mean just keep on looking because I mean the trains can come out of nowhere and be just flying. I mean it's just scary.
And what's the name of the road if you turn in front of Waters International and Meridian, take a left and go toward FedEx, that back way that you go toward the co-op.
I can't remember the name of the road, but I know it's the cutthroat road.
And I've been there before behind people and they go around the bar, and that's not smart.
Yeah.
If you can't wait, back up and go the other way because
Yeah.
they can come across and they're moving. That Amtrak does not play.
Well, and there's some places that do not have a bar. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, most
Just
places
lights.
do. But then even if it does have a bar, stuff happens. Stuff might not be working correctly. You always look. Even if the bar's not down, that don't mean there's nothing coming. You never know.
If you'll remember the train wreck that happened in Scuba a few months back, the video of it showed him pull up to it.
Yeah.
He looks and then he guns it and the train nails him. you can't win with a train.
Yeah, you don't mess with trains. My daddy was he worked on a train, and it was a passenger train that he worked on. But he said there's so many times they would hit cars, and you don't. I mean, a lot of these people who work on trains, they have to get out and help with the stuff that the cleanup stuff. I mean, he told some stories of some stuff that they had to go through, but I always look. And I always tell my kids too, always look.
2 minutes of getting somewhere quicker is not worth your life.
Well, how many times have people stopped at the red lights and be on their phone, and you might be distracted from your phone and just think, oh, I can go on.
Yeah.
So just be extra careful.
Ain't worth it.
Yeah.
We say good morning to Charlotte Hagan this morning, all the way from Damascus watching. We'd appreciate that. Also to, good morning to you, Joyce Godwin watching this morning. Watching from MD Anderson's in Houston, Texas, Elmer Talbert. Hope everything's going well there at MD.
Yes.
Good luck to everybody there, and we send our prayers to you out there. But glad you're watching, Houston, Texas. And I am so glad, let me say this from the bottom of my heart, in Texas, do not, and I just don't use your turn signal because it's a sign of weakness in Texas.
Oh, really?
Have you ever driven through that?
No. Well, we've gone through Texas coming from New Mexico and
Houston.
going to and from New Mexico, and I'm a nervous wreck, because,
Where's it? Orange, Texas. I start sweating at Orange, knowing that I got to drive through that area. They just don't play there.
Yeah,
it's a madhouse.
Well, these people who are used to driving and all that, it's just like Atlanta.
Yeah,
I mean, they on a mission. When they're behind the wheel in Atlanta, they do not play. I mean, you get out of the way or you get ran over. I mean, that's about the only way I can put that.
Prayers there to anybody who's got to drive through that area today, because I'm with you. I feel 8, 9, 10 lanes of traffic. Oh, my gosh. You don't do that thing in Mississippi where you leave your blinker on for half a mile and just kind of slow. They will run over you.
They might give you a little bump.
to say the least. Watching from Tylertown, Mississippi, Miss Kathy Bracy. Thank you for watching this morning from Tylertown.
I think doesn't Tylertown have like a camping area? Have you heard of that? It's got like a water park and stuff. I think we need to check that out when we go camp.
Do some Googling. Let us know about that.
Yeah.
I need to do that. And I've been updating my maps there, putting more locations on the rural routes in the area, when bad weather breaks out, so we'll know this is where this is. Because a lot of times when those thunderstorms come up on a radar, if you don't already have it marked, you can't see it because there's so much rain and bad weather and it turns black. So I like to go ahead and mark what is so you'll know if it's close to your house.
Okay.
So I've been working on that this week. Let's see. Kathy Jenkins says Chet's is the best. Truly is. We brought that up a while ago if you need your car work done there. Let's see here. Kathy Jenkins says, by the way, Central Electric truck is near my sister's house, and the guy said that they should have power restored within an hour. Fantastic.
That is. I know y'all are praising that because, so many people have been without power.
The interesting thing about Central Electric, they don't have a spokesperson for the company. There's not a position for that. And so when things go bad, it makes them look really bad.
Yeah.
They need to somehow or another do some budgeting to have somebody that it's their job during a crisis to let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah.
Not telling them how to do their business. I'm just speaking from this side of the fence, looking over, going, sure would be nice to know.
Well, communication's good.
Yeah.
And if people, you just kind of let people know what's happening, and it makes you kind of feel better.
And
being in
that goes back to my first date.
I'm sorry, I keep adjusting this microphone,
with,
but I feel like
with Angie. When I met her, I asked her out. It was like on a Monday or a Tuesday, and I said, I'll pick you up Friday night at 8 o'clock. There was no reason to call that woman in between Monday and Friday whatsoever. Well, you know
so
what
you didn't think?
No. I told you I was going to be there. I'm not going to call and talk for an hour and a half on the phone. Anyway, I went there Friday night. She wasn't there because I didn't call her.
Oh.
And then her mama hid from me.
Oh, really?
Because she didn't want to tell me. Barbara Sue Singleton. That's her. Y'all
so where
know her.
was she?
She went out to some, it was her birthday too, and I didn't even know that.
And you didn't call to check up or anything?
Well, I didn't know Saturday was going to be her birthday. I just met her and said, hey, I'm going to make your day and go out with you. And that was some 30-something years ago. But I thought I'd just bring that up about communication.
Yeah. Communication is key.
She lacked it. She didn't understand.
So have you started communicating since then?
Not as well. And I'll say this. you know, when Angie got sick, I did my very best to do more because I'm not a cook. I'd never washed clothes until then, so I tried to pitch in. Last night I got this. She was doing something, and I thought, well, I can cook a piece of sausage. Now it's burnt when I do it because I can't tell how to really cook it. So when it comes off of the thing, it's extra crispy. But there was this stuff meat that you mix and then you throw an egg in with it. And I don't know how to tell when meat is done. And so I whipped it all together, and I'm telling you, I thought I'd die about midnight.
Oh, really?
I ain't never cooking again.
What kind of meat was it?
It's some type of little Mexican.
Like hamburger meat?
No, it was pork meat. It's called like a chorizo or something like that. And you throw it in a skillet, you cook it, and then you throw your eggs on it, do that, and then you take the cheese dip and pour on top of it. Yeah, that likes to kill me.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I can't cook. I can't.
Well, it could just be you can't do Mexican anymore.
No, it was my cooking. And I told Angie this morning I had 2 or 3 tubes of it more. I said, throw it away because I will never.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it. I'll drive down to
huh?
Popeyes and buy my own chicken. I ain't doing it.
I know as I've gotten older, I used to love like spicy foods.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
Mexican foods. And I just can't. I mean, I can't breathe at bedtime. Like I'm like up eating.
See, and that's why I should have just got in the car and gone and seen Chino, because Chino's would have been right and I wouldn't have had to do food with it. And I can't duplicate what Chino does.
Yeah. Don't do DIY Mexican food.
You know, I just wasn't blessed in that talent. I mean, for 45 years of my life, I'd been taken care of, and then all of a sudden I'm supposed to do this.
Scotty Ray Stofers.
What is that?
Those microwavable things.
I've had
peel the lid off and pop it in there. You can't go wrong with that. So.
Barbecue and a pop top.
In some hard times, or you got to have a quick fix meal wise for yourself.
I have found. I did find a couple of weeks ago when I was in a starvation thing. The macaroni and cheese, where you just pour water in it and stick the little cup in it. I found one of those in the cabinet.
Yeah, we have a ton of that because Alden loves macaroni and cheese, and that's just quick. You know?
It is a quick fix.
It doesn't have very much in it.
No, because you want to eat like 5 of them.
Yeah.
If you're a big old boy like me. Also, we wanted to say good morning to Linda Jane Lunsford. Let's see. Charlotte says, I graduated from West Lauderdale in 1972. Salute. Let me think here. I was 3 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was born 2 years later.
Okay. You wouldn't even thought. You wouldn't even a dream yet.
I was probably a thought, but I wasn't even. Anyway, but yeah, I graduated in 92 from West Lauderdale. I went there 12 years. Loved it. Yeah. Miss it, but.
You can't go back. The only way you can go back is a teacher's aide.
I know. I still live out there, though. So.
See, Donna People says, she hopes we're having a great day. Thank you. LaWanda Grantham says, the Sattler Brothers is and always my favorite group. Mine, too. I liked them a whole lot. And then, of course, we lost Harold this year to COVID symptoms there. He was the deep voice one.
Oh, yeah.
But, and, of course, if you don't know this, their sons now sing, and they sound just like them. They're called... used to be Flagstaff. They've got this new strange name. It'll come to me in a minute. But I'm telling you, spitting image of Harold and Don. Look just like them. Sound just like them.
Yeah.
So,
I have not heard them, but I'd like to because that's a neat thing.
I
always like to see people's, the stars from years ago, their kids.
Yeah.
And
they did a remake of one of the Statler Brothers songs called Clay, Kentucky. And you have to really, country music has always painted a picture. And what this is about, an old boy that's moved off, he's gone to New York. And he's sitting around, and when he was back and lived in the little small town of Clay, Kentucky, he didn't like it. Dated this old girl, and he moves off, and he calls the girlfriend up. And he hear kids in the background. He goes, shh, don't let nobody know it's me. I just called to tell you I made a mistake, and I still love you. And, of course, she's married and gone on, and he just wanted to tell her what he thought and how are things in Clay, Kentucky. And it really puts...
Yeah.
Because
sure
people make mistakes.
There's a lot of that go. Yeah. People do make mistakes.
So what does that tell you? Don't answer the phone if it's from New York. Old love
Nowadays,
interest.
you don't know who's calling you.
That's right. Dwayne Phelps says he graduated in 1963. Help me pronounce this name.
Pisgah.
In Rankin County, with only 6 people that graduated.
6 people, goodness. I think we had 133 in our class.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. She made a mistake. Charlotte backs up, says it was 71. She's adding another year to herself there. Uh, Kath,
Kathy Bounds. That was my teacher that I was telling y'all about a while ago.
Really?
Yes, and I do her hair now. I've been doing her hair for a while.
What'd she teach?
Science.
Science?
One of the best teachers, yes, and so fun. I mean, we always had fun in there. She was real high energy, and still is. She's high energy and stuff. So we all loved her. We still love you, Miss Kathy.
I don't remember who even taught me science at Northeast. It was not one of my best subjects. Let me just go ahead and say that.
I loved it. I still love it. I sometimes I wish I'd have done something in that field, but anyway.
Charlotte says she hopes she has her 50th.
Yeah. But teachers can make all the difference,
Oh, yeah.
In if you love a subject or you don't. You can dread going in there, or you can look forward to going in there.
Like if you have a history teacher that really doesn't love history, it's going to be boring. But if you have somebody that paints the picture for you, what used to, golly, it's great.
I loved my history teacher, Mr. Thompson, and he's passed away, but he was always fun, but I just could not ever get into history. And I know I should have now, especially since they're taking it all out, I should have brushed up on it a little bit more. But
I had a teacher, and I'll never forget it. I'm not going to call his name. I ain't going to call him out this morning, but I was in 8th grade, and I liked him a whole lot. And I remember walking into his classroom, and he made the comment that, you see that American flag back there? That don't mean nothing to me. And that forever changed my thoughts of him. That done it. But nice person, but boy, he was his political views.
They can put a damper on it too.
Yeah, that did. But all my other teachers, I'm going to tell you, I had some great ones there.
We had great teachers too. I mean, I'm thankful for the teachers that we had. And some have passed. I guess some teachers have passed away. But I don't know. I'm thankful for the ones I had, but they've changed now. I don't know a lot of the teachers at the school, and because, it's been years, 30 years. So people have retired and new ones have come in. And so, and this year is the weirdest year because I met my son's kindergarten teacher, and I haven't seen her since. I met her the day we met her for kindergarten, and I have not seen her since. Usually I'm more involved and, can go in and stuff. Of course, I'm always running late. I'm the parent that's pulling up at the last minute. Yeah, they're probably glad if we don't,
As you think back on the most embarrassing things that could have ever happened in your life. I went to a school, me and another guy to give a speech years ago, and the guy that was with me introduced me. And he was trying to liven up the crowd. And he goes, y'all need to pay attention or you'll end up being an LD like Scotty Ray was, which is learning disability. After we get done, we get back, I get a phone call. We were in the learning disability class.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa. That was bad.
Oh, gosh.
I had no idea. And he didn't either. He felt yay tall. And I got to say that was probably the worst that you've ever had to recoup from.
Yeah. Yeah, that would
and
be
he
bad.
wouldn't have meant that for nothing in the world. So I got somebody calling.
So did y'all have to apologize?
Oh, yeah. And then I got somebody to prank him later.
Oh.
I couldn't let an instant like that go by without giving him a little bit extra hard time.
Yeah.
Belinda Rucker says that San Marcos is the best Mexican in town for sure. Chino is the best guy and great personality. And if you've never been there, check that out.
Yes.
Let's see here. Good morning from, do you pronounce it?
Tajeta. Tajeta.
That's how you spell that?
Uh-huh.
And she's kin to me, or she was.
I think Tajeta and Loanne.
Yeah.
I think they're sisters. They're sisters, yeah.
Tajeta, kinfolk. Let's see, she graduated in 75. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that's how you spelled your name. That's not how I would have put a J up in that. That's just me. Yeah. So I'm learning. I'm sorry. Whoops. Let's see some stories that are going on today. Also, I didn't mention about Illinois. They're going to be the first state, it looks like, to abolish getting rid of bail. And we all know that ain't going to be good.
Yeah. You
get rid of bail, people are going to do what they want.
We're going to arrest you, and we're going to feed you and give you a good night's sleep and turn you loose.
Bye. Y'all think about that. So that's some headlines going on so far. We got some more coming up this morning also. Let's talk about the farm supply. Exit 151 off the interstate where your gardening is coming. Mm-hmm. And gentlemen, I hate to tell you this, is going to be 50 bags of that mulch stuff that you got to load and drag out of the back of your truck.
Well, we'll probably keep them in business with the fire ant stuff because you know how that is. You poison one bed and it pops up somewhere.
It moves
else.
right over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So get ready for that. Spring is right around the corner. They've got all your sanitizer and T-shirts that you may be looking for, including Carhartt. They've got your overalls. If you love wearing those, go get you a pair of those. Of course, comfortable boots to work in. That's going to be those Georgia work boots. They can help you with there. And also all of your rubber boot needs there to keep out of the mud, and heaters could still get cold there with your bottles. And we've got your security cameras there that you can either put the SD card in it at the end of your driveway or have it shot to your phone at work. Because you have some driveways where you couldn't run electricity down to put an automatic camera to watch a live feed.
Yeah.
That's the way to handle that. Of course, as you get ready to plant some summer crops, they'll have that along with your spring and all your garden needs. They've got it for you with guns, ammo. Check them out, the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151. Now, let's see here what we've got stirring news-wise today on local levels. Let me back this up here where we'll start here. Steve Jobs, y'all remember him? This was the day that he was born, 1955. He went on to become one of the most successful businessmen ever.
Yes.
Also, Mr. Attitude has a birthday today, and I'm talking Sammy.
Scotty loves him.
The thing about Sammy is he could have been so much. He could have been, right up there ranked with George Jones. But his attitude.
Yeah.
He had a temper and didn't know how to handle it. And it happened a lot. Just saying. Let's see here. Johnny Cash goes and records live from San Quentin on this date. That was a pretty big deal then. Yeah, he done that a couple of times there. Now, as a kid, I had to watch this. Were you a McLeod fan?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't watch it, but now I know my dad watched
The
it.
New Mexico Cowboy with a horse in New York. And this was the day that John Denver guest starred on it. It came out in 74, and it was the Colorado Cattle Caper was the name of the episode.
He looks weird in that cowboy hat now.
Yeah, John Denver is not a cowboy hat wearing kind of guy.
And it's kind of like not even down on his head.
It ain't right. Oh, Dennis
Yeah.
Weaver fit the part, though. He played the part very well.
I mean, I do remember watching it sometimes, but it wasn't like my pick of things to watch when I was younger.
You're right.
So.
Let's see here. Let's go back for Webb Pierce. Webb Pierce passed away on this day. This car is in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and it does have all the guns everywhere. I don't know what it's worth, but he had that car customized for himself, and it was donated to the Country Music Hall of Fame. Had a bunch of hits there. His biggest, most people would know, I'm in the jailhouse now. Okay, so we're over that. Maybe you don't know that.
I don't know that one.
1992, Neon Moon was released on this date.
Yeah, I sung that many times.
Ah, that was a great song. That
Or
album,
sung to that on
Yeah.
the radio many times.
I hummed it in my pickup truck
Did
a
you?
couple times there.
Words and Done was just, I mean, they were just the thing back then, weren't they?
Yeah, and the weird thing about it, the record label put them together. They did not like pick each other out. They said, hey, you two come here. We're going to try to make something of you. And it did work. Now, they traveled on separate buses. They were not the closest of friends. They didn't dislike one another, but their personalities were, they had different tour buses everywhere they went.
I was surprised when I heard, is it Kix Brooks?
Yeah.
What was his name? When I heard him sing by himself.
It's not all that great, is it?
No.
He,
Ronnie Dunn was, I mean, he was truly the...
Of course, the big song that
voice.
you'll remember from Kix would have been "Rock My World, Little Country Girl."
Yeah.
But the deal was each of them had 5 on the album, 5 cuts. Each one would get 5 songs, but 99% of all the time it was Ronnie that got the lead, the singles with his voice. And gosh, he is so talented.
Yeah, is he doing any music now that
Yeah.
you know of?
I
haven't heard
follow him
anything
on
lately.
Facebook. He's
Okay.
and he loves photography. He's
Oh, really?
big into that. Rumor was he went out with Reba a couple times there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Now, I think Ronnie got divorced. I'm unsure about Kix, but I do remember them all talking about how well she could use a credit card, his wife, back in the day.
Oh, really?
They said, poor old Kix. Said she'd go buy it and it'd be in a yard sale 2 weeks later.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see, we also lost Dinah Shore on this date. She was 76 back in 1994. Let's see here. That is old. A portion of Causeyville Road is closed today on 22nd Avenue. If you've got to go that way, it's going to be shut down today from 8 o'clock this morning until 3 o'clock until they make a repair on this bridge.
Okay.
And that's going to be
that looks-
between James River Way and Lakeside Drive.
I'm trying to think where that's at.
I've been down the road, but I don't drive it enough to know it from the
Yeah.
tip of my mind of where it is. Let's see. Come Monday, Tate tells us that teachers and first responders will be available for the vaccine on Monday.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing because I know the teachers were wondering about that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people were wondering if they were going to get
Now,
vaccinated.
sad news as we go to Vicksburg on this. A lady froze to death Sunday night in Vicksburg. What she was doing outside of her house at 1 a.m., we don't know, but she
Yeah.
walked outside for whatever reason.
Well, people let their dogs out.
Yeah,
at night,
maybe.
You know, it could be anything.
She fell down and she was calling for help, and neighbors called the police and said, hey, we hear somebody screaming for help. The police pull up, they get out, they can't find anybody, they get back in their car and drive off, and her husband found her at 4 a.m. With no response. She was rushed to the hospital and she had passed away.
That's odd. I mean, you go to the police comes to the home.
Well, it was like a neighborhood. I'm not sure if it was a trailer park or.
But if the husband finds her, the husband was home when the police came.
But he was. They didn't knock on the door.
Oh,
They just got
okay.
out and they walked around the neighborhood there, and they didn't see
Oh,
anything. They didn't
okay.
knock on the door, and.
Because I was going to say, wouldn't that have woke the husband up?
You would think,
You'd
yeah.
think you'd go looking for her.
But
That's
they
awful.
just made like a
Awful.
little yard trip, and everybody didn't find anything.
So bad. That is awful.
One of the big rumors about Mississippi is the state tax may be going away. Now, what that would mean is you get more in your paycheck. You wouldn't have that state income tax, but you would have a higher sales tax, 2%.
Yeah, I spoke to my accountant earlier, and I think she had said that the sales tax was going up 2%.
So that looks like what's coming to Mississippi, and maybe it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
This would probably upset anybody that's out there. You've got a group of friends, say it's 5 friends, and y'all all text. And, you can add 5 or 6 people on one text,
Yeah.
set up a group. Well, Ted Cruz's wife did that, and whoever is on the little group there leaked the text to the media. And she is beyond mad. And I bet you she's got a flashlight and some eyeballs today trying to decide who did it.
Yeah. I mean, what's all the...
They took out where you couldn't read names, is what the
Okay.
yellow marks.
Yeah.
And that was whatever the name of their group is something blank Loveless is the name of their little group.
Okay.
And she is beyond upset. Ted is trying to make things up for Texans. He's been on the ground cutting barbecue, doing everything that he could to make up for that. He did get a bad rap on that. He probably should have stayed home and not went on the vacation.
Yeah, probably so. That would have been a good idea when everybody else was freezing back in Texas.
I have to give Martha a little kudos on this because everybody rushed to if it was said, it was the truth, it was the gospel. Things were not investigated with the Me Too movement. She says not every man that was accused of this did anything wrong. She was a model and she worked on Wall Street. I didn't know all of that.
Yeah.
And then she went on to other things, and she said she's been at meals with men that did that. And she said there was a lot of fine men that did it, but they just had a
Bad personality.
yeah, and people took them wrong. And she goes, it's not what everybody thinks.
I mean, I don't know. Some people just really take things too far.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't joke with people anymore. You can't. And I'd understand if it was somebody that was really way out of the way about something, But I don't know. Learn to take a joke.
But if you're a man, you best not tell no joke at work. It's at the
Yeah.
end of the day. That's
Well, it's
the
getting
society.
to where you can't. It doesn't matter who you are. You can't say anything. You
a
you
good
can't.
point there,
it's like
too.
you can't joke around about anything without getting scrutinized about what words you used or the way you said something being taken out of context.
Now you go
it's
into
just
work and say, my uncle is sick. Now you can't say, I don't know what you call your uncle now, but you can't be referring to him as an uncle anymore.
Well, I got news for you. I'm gonna say what I always said, and if you don't like it, you can walk off.
Yeah, you don't have to be friends with me, I
That's
guess.
right.
But we are in a world of hurt with all this cultural society and political correctness.
Yeah.
Where will it end? When will America go,
Well-
we're tired of it?
Well, I mean, when somebody puts their foot down and does something about it, that's when it's going to start ending, or that's when something's going to be done about it. If you just let it go, I mean, people are going to run with it, and they're just going to keep on going until we have no rights and we have no speech or anything.
We'll watch Coca-Cola sales with the backlash they're getting. If the sales go down, I think other companies will go, okay, maybe we made a mistake. But if it's business as usual, I think it will progress now.
Do you you follow Graham Allen?
Don't
Remember the
know.
guy I told you about? He's
What's he do?
he's a guy that has a like a website, and he does kind of commentating. He has this 912 group that Anyway, but he's selling T-shirts that say "Be More American," and it's red with the font like
Coca-Cola.
It says "Be More American."
Oh, there you go.
So
Pretty neat little
you got to
story
go to
there.
his site, Graham Allen.
Graham Allen. We'll check that out. I'll see if I can
I
pull
think
up
I
the...
want one of the shirts. I
It's
think
pretty
they're
cool
cute.
looking?
Yeah, I think they're cute.
Let me see here if I can pull this up. Is it on Facebook? Is that where it is?
It is.
Let's see here. Graham.
But he is really,
ALAN or
there
ALL?
it is. Yeah, he's really trying to have people have more of a voice because they've censored him and there it is, the red shirt.
Let's see if we can get this pulled up here.
He is really for America. He's for,
Okay, there's the shirt. Hey,
Yes.
that old boy swole up. I don't know if you've noticed that.
yeah, I'm sure he lifts some weights or something.
American. Yeah, that's a pretty
Yeah.
cute little shirt there.
Yeah, but he's for America, and he's trying. I think he's trying to get like a media site that is totally, for
America?
for America, and he
Conservative,
wants.
so to
That's
speak.
right, one that can't be shut down because people don't like,
Well, as we found out with the other one, that if they have anything to do with it, they will shut it down.
I
What was
know.
the little, the one that went away?
Parlor.
Parlor.
Well, it's back up.
Oh, it is?
That's what I heard yesterday, that it's back up and running. So I don't know, but didn't you say the CEO of it resigned?
Yeah,
or
well, they
something?
fired him.
And then Dan Bongino,
Who owns...
he's in a portion of the.
Yeah, he owns
has,
part
yeah.
of it.
But I don't know.
Well,
Hopefully they'll get back up and running, and
Uncle Joe is coming. If you build a gun, you can order parts in your house. You can buy a barrel from here, a stock from here. Uncle Joe says now that if you do that, he's wanting to regulate those. They're called ghost guns, is what they are, because they don't have a serial number on them. You build them yourself, and he wants that to kind of stop there.
Well, the Second Amendment is it's really. They're going to really try to do away with it.
It's
I mean,
that day is
obviously.
coming. And it
But-
won't be overnight.
Right, but if you look at his bill or whatever he's got, what did I say? It was HR 127, or I don't know.
That sounds
It's,
right.
something like that. Anyway, within that, if you look that up, there's a lot of stuff in that you would not think would be in it. But they want to know where your guns are.
Well, if you go back
If
and
you have a gun, they want it. Yeah, they
when
want
he was running, if you went to his website and had his stance on it, woo!
Oh, yeah, they want to know. They want them registered. Obviously, they want to know where you keep them. They
You
want
pay
you
so much per gun to keep it.
Yeah,
don't
it's
you?
something about an $800 per year insurance policy on that gun. Now, I don't know if it's on just each gun or what, but you got to have an insurance thing. Also, supposedly go through a psychiatric evaluation. They want comments from family members on your psychiatric evaluation. It's crazy.
Bunch of stuff.
Crazy.
Read into it.
Yeah. Now there are some crazy people that do own guns that don't need.
That don't need them.
guns.
Well, I agree with you.
I mean, we had a story yesterday on
Yeah.
somebody that went in a pawn shop or something.
And
wasn't
shot
it?
it up, yeah.
A gun place. No way, it wasn't a pawn shop.
Well, it was a pawn shop shooting place.
Okay,
it was
yeah.
all in one.
Yeah, and then killed the person who worked in there. So yeah, there are maniacs out there that
That-
don't need guns. But
That is true.
anyway,
Joe's loading up Air Force One, taking him a beach towel, and headed to Texas come Friday. He'll take Jill along also to direct him in the right ways to walk. So that's
Right.
coming up this week. They'll
remind him of where they are.
Yeah, this is Texas, honey.
Yeah.
As we look at this, bad employers. What they're telling Texans now, and it may be here, I don't know, in Mississippi, if you miss work in this, you got to use your vacation. You're not going to be paid for it. It's not going to be forgiven. Although it was a natural disaster, it was an act of God, they're still going to make them do that, or they do not get paid. I don't know how you,
Yeah.
what your thoughts are on it, but
I
that's
don't think
where it
that's
is.
right. Because nobody.
Now, let's just say that you had a girlfriend on the side. Maybe you had, we'll put it in your place, say you had a boyfriend on the side. Your little pretty boy gets in trouble, and you go to, somebody down the hall, you're a district attorney, and you know somebody that can drop the charges against him because he stole something. You go, look, I'm going to give you a couple $100, make this go away. And he goes, do what?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
You didn't
is
ask the wrong person.
a Georgia DA has been charged with bribery. He had a girlfriend, she stole a little something, and he tried to pass it off with a payment to somebody to make it go away, and they turned him in.
Good.
He's 75.
Well, yeah, that's crazy. Well, first of all,
With
you
the
shouldn't
sweet
have a
young
girlfriend
thing.
on the side. Second of all, you shouldn't be dating a shoplifter. Okay. You're a lawyer. Why she shoplifting?
Boy. In other news,
anyway.
this quietly happened. Do y'all remember New York's when we were having all of those protests and the two attorneys, they were lawyers, got caught throwing, how do you pronounce the word, Molotov?
I've never been able to say that. Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. They got them on video chunking them. That's them. There's him and her. They were both lost their jobs at the time. Quietly, a plea deal happened. Nothing's going to happen to them. And this was like a major go to jail type thing.
Right.
Major.
I mean, you could kill somebody.
And that's what goes on behind the scenes. Just because they arrested them then doesn't mean anything happened. Twitter is trying to help folks out who, text when they're mad. And you regret it. They're putting up this prompt now that goes, hey, are you sure you want to send that?
Yeah.
I guess for some people who get caught up in the moment that you should get that.
I think something like I mentioned to you, it's not this, but I don't know if y'all have had this, but like I've had this maps thing popping up on my phone, which I've never had before. Yesterday when I pulled up over here, it's popped up. It said that it was talking about my car was parked, and it showed on maps, your car has been marked as parked on
I think
maps.
you got a private detective following
It's
you.
weird. I mean, really weird. Are y'all having any of those things happen to you? I mean, I don't know. I've got like Life 360, but I've never had maps pop up with a notification telling me that my car's parked.
Yeah, somebody wants to know where you are.
It'd be nice if it got stolen, I guess,
I guess.
and I had my phone with me to know where my car was. But anyway,
Well, there you go.
It's crazy.
Candace is being followed. Lee Harvey Oswald is back in the news today. A new book is coming out. And in the book, it says that the Soviet Union leader, I guess you pronounce it Nikita? I can't pronounce it.
Nikita.
Yeah, whatever he was. He is the one that was in charge of having JFK killed. That's what's in the book. Well, it doesn't mean that it's true. It's just somebody else that worked in the CIA that has their opinion. It will probably sell a bunch of books there. By no means did Lee Harvey Oswald do that on his own.
Yeah, I mean, because we've always heard that, but what was the motive of that? Like, you would think somebody would have to put him up to that.
Oh yeah, there was, and there were people probably within the United States. A lot of folks say it was the CIA that had it done. He was doing things that, other people in the government, kind of like Trump did, that they didn't like. And sometimes you have to do away with something like that. That'll never be proven. That's one of the conspiracy theories.
Look,
the grassy knoll is
if we
another
knew
one.
right now what's going on,
Oh, you wouldn't want to know.
our jaws would probably hit the ground.
Yeah, it would be a revolt if you really knew what went on behind the scenes. But
it's scary.
JFK, that was a planned thing with a lot of people involved in it. And as you well know, everybody that could have spoke up disappeared. Kind of like they might have known a Clinton.
Well, it's just like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Whoop,
You know.
gone. Now, we brought up this site before, and I guess I need to Google it. Fans, Only Fans is it. A mom has had her children thrown out of a Catholic school because she's a member of it. Well, I'm not sure if the site is kind of like Facebook or if it offers other things.
I don't know, but a while back we had that story about the
20-year-old.
It was like a grandma. I mean, she was the age of,
Yeah.
she was probably in her 70s?
Yeah.
Maybe, and it was like a 20-year-old with her, and supposedly they were engaging in porn or something on
Yeah.
the site and making money. So
Yeah. Now, this lady is making money also. Now, she's got her kids chunked out of school, but I promise you, she ain't going to quit what she's doing because she is now earning $150,000 a month showing pictures of herself. Now, the article didn't go on to say that there was any nudity involved. It sounded like she was picking out her best lingerie and letting the world look. And apparently, I don't know whether you pay to see them or if it's kind of like YouTube, to where if so many people view it, then you get paid.
yeah.
But she's making $150,000 a month showing her lingerie. I may have to get some lingerie. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there.
Look, I ain't doing it. I don't care how hungry I get.
Imagine $150,000. Wow.
That's just crazy. But
So she's got,
she's under the right administration because Kamala Harris is all for prostitution, so she ought to be good and protected.
She's set to go. But that's happening in the news today.
Yeah.
And in one of our final stories that we bring up here, I don't. How many kids do the Duggars, the original family member, have? Is it 20 or so?
A bunch. I thought they had like 17. But
It's something
I might
like-
be. I mean, I don't even have.
It's a heap.
How do
isn't
you
it?
even function after having 17
How do you
kids?
go to the grocery store, number one?
Look,
And I know what you
went
meant
to,
by
Wa-
that.
I went to. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah,
how
that's-
do you, I mean, how do you even like physically function
There's-
after having 17 kids?
It's
crazy.
Kind of like a war out forward.
Oh my Lord! I mean,
That's
look, but I went to Walmart yesterday with one 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And I thought I was gonna be insane. I love him to death, love him. But if I heard "mama" once, I heard it 100 times because he says "mama" before he says anything. Like if he's got a question, "Mama," "Mom."
I'm gonna have to start calling you that, Mom.
Mom, and everybody knows his name because I'm calling it 100 times in Walmart, So I was worn out after my one trip
I
with
can
my
tell.
one child yesterday.
She don't
I
even
can't
smoke, and
imagine.
she's gonna start
No.
coming in with cigarettes in her hand.
Well, I said if I was a drinker, I'd have been drunk.
The Duggars now have 20 grandchildren. Holy
Goodness gracious.
smoke is all I can say
Can
about
you
that.
imagine the holidays with all the kids and the grandkids and
It's like-
stuff? You have to rent a.
What is your water and power bill? Not to mention supper. For just normal folks, it can go from $300 to $500 a week in groceries.
I can't even
What
imagine.
does it cost? I mean, that's why people used to have gardens. Seriously.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what they do. That
don't either.
some serious stuff going on there. So anyway,
Like the old days, like my papa used to say that they used to have so many kids because they'd need workers for the
Right.
for the fields and stuff. I mean, I don't know.
so that's a little bit of what's going on today. Kind of get you updated there. And we'll have more. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more coverage. We do thank you for joining us. It's mighty kind of you to drop by. If you wouldn't mind, share our page, like it, all that good stuff. Other
Yeah.
people know about it. And you're off to do a little haircutting, I guess.
I am. I got to go to work and not working all day, but I'm going to work.
Okay.
So my other job.
I hope everybody comes in and says, Mama, Mama.
Mom. There's a comedian, Leanne. I can't remember what her last name is, but y'all know who I'm talking about if y'all have seen her, blonde haired. And she was talking about taking her kids, to the store or getting them in the car, going down the road and hearing mom. That's my life. I mean, I'm telling you. But if I didn't hear it, I'd be sad. So
You just like to hear it a little less.
Yeah.
I can tell by the expression on your face.
yes.
We, again, do thank you. Warming up again. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day, 75. No rain involved. That's even
good.
better. Toward the weekend now, we're going to get rain chances, and they're not huge, but we're going to get some sprinkles here, there, and yonder is the way to word that over the weekend. Candace, we'll see everybody tomorrow, right?
We sure will. And hopefully everybody has a good day and safe day and everybody's blessed.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by